Etchells Midwinters West 2026 day 1. It's the third regatta of the Pacific Coast Series. First one was Billy Bennett Memorial a couple months ago. Then you had the BCC Championship. And today, Midwinters West, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Absolutely beautiful. The next 2.5 days. Sunday, probably still going to be outstanding. Wow, big current line right here. A lot of coaches out here, a lot of former world, national, regional champions. 50 boats, 49 boats, something like that.
This is 1529.
And that's leading up to the last BCC regatta in April.
Thank you very much.
The Orca Bowl, and then that'll be over 50 boats. And then the Worlds in the beginning of May will be, they're looking at 83 boats at the Worlds. Like maybe their topping lift came unclipped. She is standing on his shoulders. It is just an absolutely perfect day. Can't wait for the start here. I'm doing the Worlds this year in May, in 2 weeks, with a junior team. 14-year-old skipper from the junior program here in San Diego, a couple 12-year-olds. We did the first 2 Pacific Series regattas. Skipping this one, spring break. Yep, there is a little bit of swell in here. That's going to shift the apparent wind around. Yep, about to go up a swell right here, the Jibble Luff, right there. And then as they drop in the trough, they're going to get more power right now. Yeah, and then at the top of the swell, they should go flatter. And the Jibble Luff a tiny bit. That's going to be a big part of the game. $800-meter long. And a lot of teams, I think some teams have already pinged the ends with their Vaqueros, I think. And I see them doing high and slow approaches to the starting line. You have, on the Vaqueros, you have distance to the line, which is generally helpful. When the boat end's favored, you close that distance a lot faster than when the pin end's favored. And when the pin end's really, really favored, you close the line quite slowly. So the distance to the line is not as simple as it sounds. I personally really like it. So some people are doing practice, half-speed approaches up to the line. And here we go. 5 minutes away from a 5-minute signal. They definitely could not have been pinging the ends of the line because the pin end is now moving. You know, but anyway, I did see some people doing practice starts. If you reach down at all, you have world-class sailors to leeward of you who are going to close that door out really fast. You are going to have a boat underneath you, so you've got to be able to stay high and slow and keep flow, and it's a lot of challenge. It's about 2 minutes to the 5-minute gun. We do have kelp out here. Oh, there's 986, Bruce Nelson. They were just going upwind, looked really good. Got to sail on that boat quite a bit. Oh, George Zaba, former Star World champ. I mean, it's just a who's who of champions.
2 minutes from a warning. 2 minutes from a warning.
Oh, Chris Bush, 969. He won the Billy Bennett. There we go. That line is set for more than 50 boats. And I didn't mind that in the last regatta. I actually thought that it helped the fleet a little bit. The thing about the Vaqueros and distance to line is everybody progresses up to the line more together now, and there's no line sag. And so little harder to judge the line, so having a long line helps everybody just, everybody gets kind of a cleaner start, which I kind of like. Everything is telling me that the line is at least square, or look at that boat on starboard way out. He's got plenty of lift. This guy's got plenty of lift. The Ladow's. I've been lucky to sail in this fleet for 40 years. I did my first regatta with Steve Wright and Bruce, I can't remember his last name. And, but yeah, the boats that are on port tack heading down towards the committee boat are trimmed above a beam reach. I don't know if you can see some of these port tackers, but their sails are quite tight going towards the committee boat. So that surprises me. It could be just a little righty at the moment. I don't have the head to wind. Everything's saying boat end is favored to me right now. I think they have the line set for a 280 wind, so that would be 190 heading down the line from the committee boat end to here. So if I did a reverse of that, I could figure out which end's favored that way. Looks like everybody's pushing towards that end. The Vaqueros makes it so they will not have a general recall. I'm actually in gear going forward at half a knot, and I'm not moving on the flags. I don't know if you noticed that. So I got a current report of about 0.4 knots current from a direction of 280, almost exactly the same direction as the wind. So that shouldn't affect much. At the top of the course, apparently the current is stronger, over a half a knot, and then it will shift kind of going towards the beaches a little bit, I think. Here we go. You see how everybody kind of hangs back together. You can tell the line is plenty long. Get off the line a little here so people behind me can film. See how they come up to the line, kind of 3/4, half, quarter speed. Wow, that guy. So obviously no one can start down here at all. Full speed, dude. What is he? If I was him, I would have slowed down a little. Yep. So the Vaqueros goes green or red? Wow, you must have been green. That was impressive. I'm not sure why they dipped down. We're off race one. Looks like 0 boats going back. That's impressive, because you get to the line really quickly when the boat end's favored. Someone asked me which way would you go, right or left? In the first race, your goal is to get a lane on starboard. Unless you know the right is favored, you get a lane on starboard and you just go straight. And get yourself ahead of all the people that have to duck or got a bad start. If the wind does not shift, you will beat everybody who does 3 tacks to your 1 or 2. They do 5 to your 2. You'll beat everybody who got a really bad start. And sure, if the wind went hard right now, whatever, but I think lane on starboard in the first race, speed test. I wouldn't think of which side's favored right now. We've got 1092 as my team. She really smokes her main sheet tight, man. Wow. And they don't wait to do it. They look pretty quick, actually. This is Claire. Right now, it's adjusting things very little. You probably not even doing the jib fine tune at all right now. Mainsail, you're probably just changing the traveler a little and the backstay a little, and the main sheet fine tune a little. All tiny adjustments. Right now it's just about hiking and getting in the mode you want to be in, which is when you don't know, you're just right between foot mode and squeeze mode. to make sure I don't get in trouble by getting on the course. The mark is just to the right of the ship out there. Grace and those guys look really good, actually. They still got a ways to go. I would just wait for 904 and go a little further. They look really good. The Vaqueros gives you heel angle, and they've been sailing flatter than some of these other teams. So that's super important to practice. Practice steering to the speedometer. You got a speedo on the boat, speed over ground, and you've got, especially downwind, you'll use the speedo downwind, especially. And then upwind using heel angle, and when you're practicing, really doing a lot of it. The mark is to the left of this little black flag out there a ways. It's out there a long ways still. To the left of that ship quite a bit. This guy might be leading in 904, and we are right here. So the difference between like 2nd and 20th is 10 seconds. Looks pretty good. Interesting. Maybe there's less current on the right. My original guess was that people were going to come out of both sides and be pretty even, but those guys on the right look pretty far. They look pretty small to me. And I'm not that far away from these guys, so flat half main. Yeah, the new way to sail the boats is with a tighter head stay, flatter sails. And the jib sheeted in more than ever. They got the new in-hauler system that brings the jibs in, so they, you know, when you have flat sails, you can pull them more to the center line. Full sails have to be held out to the side more. So a lot of boats out here completely changed to the new north flatter setup with the in-haulers and the mainsail. So as soon as you're full hiking, that backstay is smoked, your mast is pulled aft to keep the head stay tight. Maybe the mast butt, you moved it forward a little before the race, a tiny bit. Maybe definitely these guys probably have between 2 and 4 turns on their lowers. Go pretty quick on the lowers so that you can pull the backstay harder, and also that keeps the mast straight. So there's a lot going on. You can see, man, they got that traveler up because the bottom of the jib is up on the cabin tops now. Can't see the shape of this sail, but this mainsail seems fuller than the other guy. Looks like they are plenty inside their spreader. They're a little stalled on their leech telltale. I don't know if that's, I mean, normally the rule is keep the leech telltale of the jib flying, but I think stalling a little. The forestay sacks and the leech hooks right in. That sail's much fuller than that other boat we saw. Yep, traveler down in the middle. Sheet squeezed a little. Sheet comes on a little, traveler goes up. And this mainsail is going to look a lot fuller than our other hazy. Hazy usually means pretty good. And it is not a case where the left and the right were even. It definitely is a case where the right was better. This is where the leaders stretch out, because there is a death zone that you can get in below the ley line, and you really can't tack because you've got starboard tackers to your right, and you can't go straight because they're in the death zone. Nobody's really in the death zone right now. There's a couple of boats back in that pack that are stressing out right now. And these guys over here are just overstaying. Like, they will keep their bow up. They will keep their bow up and just sail high of the mark and don't fall down at all. Okay, pretty awesome. It's lightened up a little bit here. They'll be using BMG kites pretty much all day. It takes a lot of wind for people to switch to the runners. Tomorrow they might get to runner. Tomorrow they're going to see 15 knots, so they might get to runner. The Norse sails are the ones with the single windows. The Doyle sails, they've got double windows. Do not know who the skippers are, but this looks like newer boats, so probably a very good team. Race 1, first weather mark. Nobody in the horrible death zone there on starboard below ley line. That could just be, you cannot believe it when you get underneath the pack and you can't tack because you got starboard tackers to the right of you. Your jib goes inside out. There's so little wind under there. GBR. Pretty far forward. They hook the fracculator onto it, so that's going to go onto the top of the jib, and then they pull the jib halyard on, and it pulls the mast forward and locks it into the boat a little tighter. You ease the mast lever at the deck so the mast rocks forward. Everybody's at full hoist. Sometimes you'll see teams that'll carry the tack of the spinnaker off the end of the pole, and you'll see the halyards eased off just a little. But it doesn't look like that too much. Those guys look like a little bit there. 1429. Just getting the thing away from the boat. Yeah. Coach Victor, the metal maker, driving that boat. Look up that book. It's called The Metal Maker. Amazing story. A lot of world-class coaches out here, that's for sure. Dave Ullman doing tonight's debrief. Now the trick downwind is, if you can see the back side of somebody's mainsail, you are ahead of them. I'm looking at Warpath here. Chucky Eaton. Reynolds over here. Warpath. They can see the back of the mainsail of pretty much everybody except the top three, is my guess. So they are probably third. We're gonna see how Warpath comes out here. Wow, a lot of good sailors back here. It's not easy. The level is so high.
Etchells sailors, this is race committee. Be advised,
This will humble you. This will humble you. Wow, this is just awesome. I'm gonna film one more with you. I just think it's a whole new ball game now. The straighter head stays and the flatter sails. I mean, this guy is just cutting straight, slicing the wind. The in-haulers and the booms up and the hiking. He's just slicing straight through the wind.